The influence of social behavior, social psychology essentials. This is your host, Dr. Tulipo Mwenifumbo. And today we are diving into lesson 3. And in this lesson, we are looking at attitude and persuasion in social psychology. Attitude and persuasion, we are going to look at three things or three topics. Number one, we are going to look at formation and change. That is, and we are also going to look at persuasion theory. And lastly, we are going to look at attitude, behavior, and relationship. So persuasion and theory, that is where we are going to start from. Then we will look at the attitude formation and change. And lastly, we are going to look at the attitude, behavior, relationship. Remember, this lesson is coming from the book entitled The Influence of Social Behavior, which is Social Psychology Essentials by Dr. Tulipo Mwenifumbo. So this book is very important because this book offers valuable insights into human behavior and social interactions. It provides essential knowledge for professionals and students interested in social psychology, and it explores influence, persuasion, and decision making, deepening understanding of social factors that shape our thoughts and interactions. Let's dive into the course, into the today's subject. So, what is persuasion? Persuasion is the process of influencing an individual's attitude, beliefs, or behaviors through communication, often with the intention of changing their point of view or motivating them to take a specific action. So when we talk about persuasion, we are talking about someone intending to change someone's belief, behavior through communication. So it persuasion applies to three many factors, that is attitudes, beliefs, and behavior. So one is trying to change your perspective or your viewpoint, or or trying to change your attitude, your beliefs, or your behavior through communication. That is what is called persuasion. So most of the things that we do, they come as a result of persuasion. So for you to believe in something, or for you to have an attitude, or to change your behavior, mostly you may find that there must be somebody who persuaded you to have a certain attitude or belief or behavior over something. So there are elements that creates persuasion. Now, what makes someone to be persuaded, or someone to make a decision, or to change the attitude over something, or the behavior, or the belief? Number one is the person or entity delivering the persuasive message. So when we talk about the person or the entity, that is the authoritative, or the authority of that entity. For example, the Bible. If someone brings out the issue that this is what is written from the Bible, or this is what God has said, that makes somebody to be persuaded, because there is an entity which is an authority, and that is delivering the message. So that is one of the things that are used when it comes to, especially in religious circles, or in this what is called prophets. So people begins to follow blindly because they believe the source, they believe in the source of the message. Then the other thing is the message itself, the content and structure of the persuasive communication, how the words are brought into the ears of somebody may create the persuasion. How the words are articulated and how they appeal to the mind of somebody may make that person to change their attitude, belief, or behavior. That is also persuasion. Then the other thing is the audience, the individual or group being targeted by a persuasive message. So the other thing that may create or may cause the change of attitude may be the audience, which people this message is applying to. You may find that the message may be the same. When it comes to the elderly people, it cannot apply, but it can apply to the youth. So the target group will also create certain change in the mindset or in the behavior of somebody through persuasion. So the way you can persuade different professions or different people, different cultures will determine the kind of the message and how you articulate your message or how you present your message. Then there is also the channel. The channel is also the element of persuasion. You know, I've heard many people saying that even it was spoken even on radio, it was spoken also on news. You see, when somebody wants to convince somebody to change or to persuade somebody, they may use such channels whereby somebody says, this is what even the radio, I heard this from the radio. So because of the people believes that when something that is coming from the radio, it is authentic. So that may make somebody to be persuaded. So there are four things that may create persuasion. Number one, we said source, message, audience, and channel. Persuasion techniques. What techniques are used to change the attitude or to influence the attitude, behavior, or mindset of somebody? They use what is called, number one, emotional appeals. That is using to influence attitude or behavior. So you use the emotions to appeal to a person, whereby if a person's emotions are raised, it is likely that that person is going to make a decision that that may change the behavior of somebody. Number two, the logical appeals. That is now bringing issues systematically, whereby you say, when you look at this and you look at this, then you do this, it is going to bring about this change or it is going to bring about this issue. So I want you to make a decision because of these factors. So that is a logical appeal. Then there is social proof. When you talk about social proof, we are talking about where you said, even these people, they did this, they used this product so that and it changed their lives. You bring about the examples of how that message has transformed other people. That is bringing in testimonies. So that is using social influence and endorsement to build credibility. Then there is also repetition. That is repeating a message or idea to increase its persuasive impact. When somebody hears something from time to time, it begins to change their attitude. So, like this is used in advertising or in marketing. You have seen whereby when when a certain uh, product is brought into market, they'll paint the walls, they'll paint everywhere, and they'll do the promotion, they'll put it on the billboards and whatever, so that when you the more you look at that product, the more you look at that thing, it makes you to recall, and it changes, it begins to appeal to your mind that this must be authentic. Now, there are theories of persuasion. Number one is elaboration likelihood model. This theory explains how people process persuasive message through central and uh, peripheral routes. Now, that is uh, whereby people making decision through having the emphasis or explaining something that is so that people understand something. Then there is central root, which is persuasion occurs through careful consideration of arguments and evidence. So now that is where now you bring evidence on why it should be decided in that way. Then there is also peripheral root, which is persuasion occurs through superficial cues, which is attractiveness and credibility. So when you talk about uh, peripheral route, you're talking about persuasion occurs through superficial cues. That is attractiveness and credibility. You bring something like whereby the model or the uh, maybe something like the law model is holding a packet, or maybe somebody who is esteemed in the society is holding something, so that meaning to the audience that this thing is even liked by this person. Then there is cognitive dissonance theory, a theory that explains how people experience discomfort when their attitudes or behaviors are inconsistent. Dissonance is uncomfortable state resulting from inconsistent attitudes or behaviors. That is where now you say, why should you worry when there is a company that can give you a loan? Why should you be worried? So that makes you to have what is called dissonance, making you uncomfortable. Why should I suffer when there is this solution? So reducing dissonance, changing attitudes or behavior to restore consistency. Now, what? How do persuasion how is persuasion applied? So persuasion is applied in marketing and advertising. So persuasion is used to influence consumer attitudes and behavior. It is also used in public speaking. So persuasion is used to influence audiences and motivate them to take action. And also it's for social influence. Persuasion is used to promote positive social behaviors and attitudes. So in psychology, we use what is called social influence. That is persuading people to change their attitude. You remember when the HIV came, they used the what we call psychosocial counselors, that is using social influence, that is letting people realize or changing people's attitude and behaviors toward their sexual living or their lives, because you are using what is called persuasion. So persuasion can be used in marketing and advertising. It can also be used in public speaking. So we So today we are going to end here. I don't want to take much of the time, because we will now look at the other. So in lesson 3, we are going to break down it into 3 sessions. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Let's meet in the next class, where we are going to look at attitude formation and change. Remember, we are still looking at lesson 3, and now we are going to look at attitude formation and change. Thank you so much, and God bless you. This is your host, Dr. Tulipo Mwenifumbo. Remember to get the book, this book, which is The Influence of Social Behavior. And it is going to help you in marketing or in persuasion